My name is Ed Hulbert, and I manage Butte Creek Farms here in Colusa. We put fish screens on our river pumps probably about 20 years ago. We were one of the first companies that did it. We took the initiative to put fish screens on our pumps to protect species and to really get ahead of the curve of where we think it is going to go on the Sacramento River. Interestingly, Butte Creek Farms installed our fish screens. We were one of the first ones. Our first generation fish screens failed after 2 years. It was all new design, new construction. We were kind of the guinea pigs. It was fairly costly, but with the help of Family Water Alliance, we were able to get some funding from the agencies, fishery agencies, so that did help us on the front end. So when Butte Creek Farms installed our second generation fish screens after a lot of redesign work, a lot heavier, heavy stainless steel, still had to meet all the tolerances with the fish agencies, but it had to withstand the conditions in the Sacramento River. It had to withstand the high flows. And when we installed all that, those screens now have been in operation for well over 15 years on the Sacramento River. Still has maintenance. We have to dive our screens 2 to 3 times a year for routine maintenance, sometimes for repairs. But generally, we've been happy that for the investment that Butte Creek Farms, that our owners made, we've protected species. We've also been able to pump water in all the seasons that we need to pump water in without any restrictions. So we see it as a good relationship. I go back to Family Water Alliance. With Family Water Alliance's partnership, with their guidance, with their expertise, it's allowed us to not just have fish screens. There's more to it than that. There's operational issues. Again, it's engaging with the agencies, making sure we're in compliance. And so it's been a team effort really over the last 20 years to get to the point where we are today. Family Water Alliance from the beginning helped us with all of the applications, all of the permitting process. That took multiple years before we even built our first generation screen. So that's the value for operations, farming operations like ours, to have Family Water Alliance help us with that process. Attend meetings in Sacramento. And I've always said there's not enough of me to cover all the meetings that you have to go to in the fishery business and the water business, and that's been the real value to our company. Cost benefit for us has been huge, and it allowed us to get through that process. We got through all the permits with Fish and Game, Fish and Wildlife, National Marine Fisheries, Army Corps, fairly efficiently, and then to be able to construct our fish screens on the river. I think with our businesses, which is Butte Creek Farms, our farming operation, and Colusa Industrial Properties, our industrial park, which really our niche has been food processing to support all the agriculture in the valley. And we try and be forward-looking, but we got a lot of that from our founder, Lee Otterson. Lee Otterson developed all these companies back in the 40s, and his vision was that rural California, Colusa County, would support a lot of the ag industries and support a lot of the food that's grown in our valley. Our industrial park, most of the facilities we've built are food processing, warehousing to support our ag industry in Colusa County and really the North State where a lot of our customers are. And so that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to think ahead to support our local businesses, to support the North State. And so whether it's in our farming operation on Butte Creek Farms, our water off the Sacramento River, or our industrial park on Colusa Industrial Properties, we're always trying to look ahead. Otherwise, you're behind and you will never catch up. In business, we all know, is getting more difficult. Permitting is getting extremely difficult, time-consuming. The time periods are longer to even do projects. And so that's what we've kind of built our expertise on, is really to be able to do that. And we've got a communication site on top of the Sutter Buttes that supports all the communication in the North State. So our businesses have been diverse. To really try and support the North State is our niche. In addition to our Sacramento River pumping station, which pumps the bulk of our water, Butte Creek Farms is 2,600 acres. So it's a sizable ranch, diversified, tomatoes, rice, row crops. We have had some tree crops in the past. We take the bulk of our water off the Sacramento River with a Reclamation District 1004 contract. We have our own river contracts, 4 of them, and we're riparian to the river. Having said all that, our property is unique as we're sandwiched in between the 2 main waterways, the Sacramento River, which we're standing on, and to the east of us, we border Butte Creek. So our property pulls water, senior water rights off of both waterways, and so we had really old pumps on Butte Creek over the last 50 years, and in 2002, with Family Water Alliance's assistance again, to get through the permitting on Butte Creek, all the agencies, we were able to permit a new pump installation. We replaced 3 old pumps with 1 efficient pump with retractable fish screens, and because the pump is smaller, we're able to retract the fish screens in the wintertime and get them out of the water flow. The river, we cannot do that. They're too big and they're underwater. But on Butte Creek, we were able to permit a new pump station, new pump, increased our flows a bit and more efficient, and we're able to put screens on them again to protect the fisheries. So now we're protecting fisheries on Butte Creek 100% and on the Sacramento River. And that was in 2002, 2003. Our design on that one installation was excellent because we've had very few problems with that since 2002. Other than normal maintenance, we have done some monitoring. Family Water Alliance has done some monitoring with the agencies. We've had some inspections. So far, so good. We've been in compliance on everything. Butte Creek's important because Butte Creek is a main waterway, but Butte Creek that borders our ranch is a primary salmon habitat. And so because it's a primary salmon habitat for multiple runs, it's important. It's important to the North State. It's important to us as property owners, and so we took the initiative to screen our diversion. The pumps are so big, the installation's big. The screens are actually sit just about a foot off the bottom of the river, but they're big. They're probably 15 feet long, probably 6 feet in diameter, and we rely heavily on our divers that have the expertise to dive these screens and do the maintenance on them. And depending on what that is, sometimes it's just sediment removal, sometimes it's mechanical. We've relied for quite a few years now on Doug Maxfield and his team with Big Valley Divers. They do a lot of this type of work in the North State, but it's it takes a lot of expertise. It takes a lot of expertise even to do the diving, but then when you're diving on fish screens and you have all the mechanical pieces, plus you're pumping water, it's very complicated. And so they've done a real good job. They do a lot of this type of work, and again, it's the team that it takes to run this type of operation. There's more to it than just turning on the pump. It's a lot more pieces now with the fish screens, and the fish screens are continually rotating. There's a wand that moves inside of them that continually cleans debris off the fish screens. If they collect with debris, then that causes problems for the pumps. But we knew that when we signed on to the fish screen program. We knew there was going to be more maintenance, there was going to be more reports, and we were fine with that.